The heavy autumn rain was relentless, blurring the neon lights of the unfamiliar city skyline into a smear of cold blues and grays. Lillian leaned her forehead against the fogged-up window of the cab, her breath leaving a faint mist on the glass. Every bump on the wet asphalt sent a shiver through her tired frame. She was entirely out of her depth, moving to this massive city for her university degree with nothing but 2 oversized suitcases and a fading hope that her relationship with Julian would finally feel real again. They had been drifting for months, their phone calls growing shorter, his voice becoming a detached echo. When the cab finally pulled up to the weathered, brick apartment complex, Lillian dragged her heavy bags through the dim, narrow corridors. The hollow, metallic roll of the wheels echoed against the concrete walls, sounding painfully lonely. When she reached apartment 4B, she took a deep, shaky breath and knocked. The door opened, but there was no rush of warmth, no tight embrace of a boyfriend who hadn't seen her in 3 months. Julian stood there in a gray sweatshirt, his eyes fixed firmly on the glowing screen of his tablet. He offered a faint, polite smile that didn't even reach his eyes. "Hey, Lillian. Glad you made it through the storm," he said, stepping aside carelessly. "Come on in. Just drop your bags by the hallway. Like I told you over text, my roommate Liam shares the place, but he's usually out late. Make yourself at home." Lillian stepped inside, her heart sinking into a familiar, hollow ache. She sat on the edge of the small fabric sofa in the living room, her hands tightly clasped in her lap to hide their trembling. Julian sat on the opposite armchair, his fingers flying across his screen, talking rapidly about his grueling schedule at his new corporate internship, his upcoming evaluations, and how he barely had time to sleep. He didn't ask about her exhausting 10-hour journey. He didn't look up to notice how pale her lips were from the cold, or how much she desperately needed him to just reach out and hold her hand. The emotional distance between them felt like an ocean, even though he was sitting less than 3 feet away. Suddenly, the heavy click of the front door lock pierced the quiet room. The door swung open, and a rush of cold, rain-scented wind swept into the hallway. A tall figure stepped inside, shutting the door firmly behind him. "Oh, Liam, you're back," Julian muttered, not looking up from his tablet. "This is Lillian. She's staying on the couch for a couple of weeks until she finds her own place." Liam turned, shedding his damp black coat. As he stepped into the soft amber light of the living room, Lillian